Hey everybody, this is Catcherlp, MooMooCows editor here. MooMooCow is away at the army for the next 2 weeks, so I will be the host of today's video, and today we're going to be talking about the balance patch that just recently came out. This balance patch is a combination of changes from the 1.5 anniversary and the 2.0 anniversary, so a big amalgamation of updates and changes that I am very excited to tell you about. So first things first is the stat cap increase. Each scenario will have a stat cap associated with it. So for example, URA will have all 1400, Unity will have all 1300 except for the wit stat, which will be 1800, and MANT will have 1200 for all stats except for stamina, which will be 1900, and wit, which will be 1500. This is the baseline stat caps, and now you'll be able to increase the stat cap depending on your blue sparks. So for having a 1-star blue, it will add +5 to the cap, a 2-star blue, it will add +9 to the cap, and a 3-star blue, +16 to the cap. If you max out all your blues into one stat, it will be +96 to the cap of the stat that you're trying to max. So for example, if you're going into MANT and you're adding all max power sparks, you'll get +96 to the cap at the very start of the scenario. Keep in mind that during inheritance events, this will also add on extra to the cap, allowing you to reach monstrous numbers in stats such as speed, power, and wit, or even stam. In modern day JP, it is often speed sparks that are the most used, often because we want to add to the maximum speed. However, we are still in the early days of UMA, all things considered, and it is hard for us to hit all stat cap. And because of that fact, we're often going to be going for things such as stam, or more importantly, power sparks, which are a very important part to the sprint CM to hit max power for that 1200. That leads into the power conserve mechanic. What is the power conserve mechanic? If your Uma has over 1200 power, you will be able to do power conserve. Power conserve will randomly store up energy for the last spurt. When you're on the last spurt, you will release the power conserve and you will get more Excel. It isn't a lot considering we have low amounts of power. Expect somewhere in the neighborhood of a 0.1 perfect Excel. It's not the greatest thing ever. However, having just the extra 1200 gives you the chance of a 0.1 Excel. It's something that everyone should strive to aim for whenever they can. Also, a quick note, the 1200 does not have to be based off of base stats. It can include greens, so things like Firm Course Menace actually can get you past into that 1200 range to hit this extra 0.1 Excel, a very nice little quality of life. Next, we'll talk about the affinity changes really quickly because we do have a video planned for it coming out soon. G2 and G3 affinity is gone, G1s are now +3 instead of +1. This means that you want to focus on as many G1s as possible, and if you hit it, you will hit a huge amount of affinity just from the races. If you do all the races from dirt, mile, medium, and long, you will hit around 330 affinity. Really powerful and really strong for hitting every single spark that you want. Next, we're going to be talking about the added spark reroll. Note, this is not the full spark reroll that JP gets. In JP, we have the ability to choose between blue and pink sparks, and if you're willing to pay, you can choose between 4 different spark rerolls. Unfortunately for us global players, there is only one spark reroll. You pay 30 TP and you get a second chance at getting good sparks. Even though there is only one spark reroll, this is still a huge help in making good parents. Next thing to note is that the extra dirt races aren't here yet. This is quite weird because we expect them to be added around the grand live time, but it is something to note. Next, we're going to talk about some quick quality of life changes. Multiple ticket pools were added. Note that this does not give you a gold if you do 10 single ticket pulls all at once. It's just making it faster for when you're doing the ticket pulls. Also added was club sash donations, so you can ask for club sashes, and also added 10 to the follow list. Next, we're going to talk about the scenario changes. First is the URA. So what actually changed? Well, there's a random chance for a Happy Meat duel to appear on the training. Clicking it will offer you 3 different duel options. When you duel the character, you use the stat of the specific duel, and if you win the duel, you'll get stats, SP, and the Essence of Racing skill for the stat that you dueled. These Essence of Racing skills are quite good. Most notably is the Essence of Racing Stamina, which is a stamina drain that gives a 0.25 speed skill. These skills are still looped into modern day JP and are absolutely worth the value. However, URA itself is not a very good scenario for parent making, mostly due to the fact that you don't get that much SP. It is much better to move your parent making into Unity or into MANT, and most of the time it will be MANT that you want to make your parents in. Also, one more note about Unity parent making: you can't actually clock on non-essential career races. So doing G1s in Unity, you can actually just get screwed out of free Affinity. Is another reason why you should probably just choose to do your parent farming in MANT. So let's talk about the new scenario changes to Unity. Well, the first thing is that the Unity rank goes higher than before and will offer higher tier rewards for facing harder teams. And then secondly is the purple burst. When a purple burst appears, you will not have any failure rate for going after them. These simple changes actually add up to a huge amount of SP and also stats. So what does this mean for Unity as a scenario? Well, if you have good SP bonus cards and you're using a character with a secret event, it is not unlikely that you can hit a very good ace. In my testing, if you have enough SP bonus cards and you're doing enough races, you can hit a good stat line with 3200 SP on certain characters like Taiki Shuttle. Overall, with the new stat caps, I suspect that Unity will be the preferred place to make all your aces. Having extra speed and power is just too significant to overlook, even if you don't have a good enough deck to reach the same SP levels as MANT. It's a very minor difference, however it is still significant enough to win your races. That difference dissipates when we talk about parent making though. Getting over 1100 in any stat does not realistically help parent making that much. The only thing that getting above in a stat does is help you get a higher ranking so you can reach the SS required for better white sparks. Because of this, MANT will still be the preferred parent making scenario for the ability to get skill hints, better SP, and better baseline stats. Overall, I am very pleased with this patch, and I didn't even go over the skills that we'll be going over in another video that offer a brand new life to a lot of old skills that got often ignored. Offering both the 1.5 and the 2-year Annie changes in this one patch has left the community to speculate, discuss, and come up with new strategies and ideals for how to play, and I really love that fact. Once again, a small reminder that I will be in charge of the channel and the Twitch for the next 2 weeks while he's off to the army. Alright, that'll be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to join our Discord community. We have a very vibrant community. Feel free to add Moo on Ko-fi to have him answer your questions, or join the Twitch channel and watch the latest from him. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.